And we're back for another one. Get the mic check out the way. And it looks like as soon as we start the stream and go live, I got a storm system bearing down on my neck of the woods. So if anything happens in like the next 10, 15 minutes, you can attribute that to the storm system. Hopefully nothing happens. But just saying, kind of crappy timing here. It looks like I'm going to get a direct hit. And it'll be passing through for the next 10, 15 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt much. Yeah, we're going to dive into a ton of stuff here tonight, man. Juicy stuff. Maybe not as many different headlines, but dive down some rabbit holes pretty deep on quite a few. And the bigger topics out there right now, the stuff going on. I put a video out seeing how this is all set up. And it is, from Epstein to Diddy to the weather warfare. It's all set up at the hand of the beast. It's attacking the people and letting their demons go free, or clearing their name, or doing whatever. We're going to jump into all that and more. Thank you, Steve, right at the gate. Thank you for that super chat. My brother, thank you for all the support. Much love. God bless. Canito in the house. Hopkinson, much love. I see folks said that they didn't receive any notification. It takes me off, but I thank all of you that share the stream. When you share it, you get it out there in front of eyes that I could never reach, and I appreciate it. It's a tough fight when you fight censorship the way that I do. I literally have this channel marked with a tag. They told me that no one seems to know what it is, and they can't get it off. So I'm like, super turbo, shadow banned, and censored to heck and back. Most of you just that show up know, because you know what time I go live religiously, and it's just ingrained. You guys know. Other people, like the other 500,000 subs that I got, seem to not get a notification. Pisses me off. You do all this work fighting the fight, and then they just censor you. I mean, it's just like you going out there fighting the fight, and they can just kill you, I guess. But I'm sick of the beast. I'm ready for the beast to get chopped down. And I put that in the hands of the Most High to do it. Because I don't see any human on this planet being righteous enough or having the power to do it. I watched some powerful guys fall to the hands of the beast. If anyone's got any ideas, I'm all for it. Let me know. And as always, if you want to get information to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. And you can at me there in the chat to get my attention at dabu77. Lights it up in red. Makes it easier for me to see and notice. So, all right. Let's just, let me see here. I'm going to start off with an update on the floods. Let me get a refresh on this. I seen headlines as I was getting ready to go live off a different site that had cleared 100. So I know the number has hit 100 at least that I've seen off of one site. I think it was Yahoo. Texas flood disaster here. So the death toll climbing between 90 and 100 officially. Trump to visit later this week. It's horrific. A 30-foot wall of water came down through this area and just took these people out like a tsunami. Of all the fatalities so far, 75 occurred in Kirk County. And the dead include 48 adults and 27 children, with 15 of the adults and 9 of the children unidentified. Camp Mystic, located along the Guadalupe River in Hunt, Texas, confirmed that 27 children and counselors died in the flood. And you can see this guy broke. Just look, man. This is a weapon. And it's like a war. And you end up having the dead bodies in the end like a war. And you have cleanup like a war. Sometimes it can be even worse than a battlefield warfront. Battlefield warfront, clean up some bodies, this and that, but like natural disaster like this, you've got everything piling everything. And look at Asheville. When people were going down to Asheville, and much love Bone Score, they were horrified because when they were going down there, not only was it such devastation that they couldn't believe until they seen it, but when they went down to help, so much was covered in mud that was the first thing that had to be done. And then secondary was the smell of dead bodies. It's overwhelming. Most people wouldn't be able to handle it. I give a salute out to all the frontline soldiers, all the people that go out and help in these situations. We've had it happen down here in my neck of the woods several times. Anytime you're in these mountainous, hilly areas and they park one of these storm systems right over top of you, this is what you're going to get. And it's unfortunate. I mean, it's a weapon to me. I mean, we looked at the details. We looked at everything coming through. And it was pretty indicative of this thing being lit up. Now, there's different aspects of this. You look at some of the updates here. All right, so we've got a company called Rainmaker saying right here, the natural disaster, prayers with them, but the Rainmaker did not operate in the affected areas of the 3rd or 4th or contribute to the floods that occurred over the region. Rainmaker will always be fully transparent. Now, this is good for them to be transparent and open, but the problem here is when the government does this, all right, they don't announce it like this all times, and it's not just this one company over here that's responsible for cloud seeding. There's a ton of different companies that go through different branches of the government. A lot of it is covered up and hidden, and has been for years in terms of the chemtrailing, and this, and the cloud seeding. There was reports here just within the past couple months of blue rain in Texas and California. And this blue rain, a byproduct of the silver iodide that's used in the atmosphere to produce rain when you're cloud seeding. So if you guys ever experience this, if you're ever out anywhere and it's raining and you're seeing puddles of blue rain, and you're like, what is going on? Well, that's a sure sign that the rain that fell on you was manipulated rain. And some of these bigger systems, even though they're manipulated, so much rain comes down that you can't tell if it's blue or not. So much devastation. And when it's a rain bomb is a specific weapon that holds moisture, almost like holding it into a bucket. As long as they can to a determined point, and it breaks. And it's literally like going outside and like going up to like an anthill and like dumping a bucket of water on it. That's what it'll do to like any mountain. It will shear off, not just cause landslides and everything, but it will shear off mountains, and it will cause devastating flash flood, immediate flash flood, and this flooding period in the valley that it hits. I know because we've had it hit, and you can go and you can look at some of the footage. This has happened in several different states, different times. You can see the rain bombs dropping, and it's crazy. The amount of rain from a distance that you see break out of the clouds and get dumped onto an area. You literally, it's like a bucket of water getting dumped. It's so much. It's just it's so much. It's you can't deal with it. You don't have time to outrun it. And much love, thank you, Deanne. Let me get a quick update here, and thank you, Bill, for the coffees. Appreciated to the fullest. And I got a quick update off the email here for a Walmart issue. Thank you, Jocelyn. Saying that Walmarts in the Southeast are down in the United States, are having issues. She's a direct connect there that is relaying information saying that they've had issues. So if you guys experience anything, just a heads up there. And then also with Texas, man, this isn't over. We've got a new round. Where's it at here? We've got a new round of weather that's dumping significant amounts of rain in the region in Texas again. So they're warning. I mean, pay attention to the weather at this point. I do. Like I was telling you, I was about to get hit like right as we were going live. You have to at this point. You've got to pay attention to the weather. I've noticed that compared to just 10 years ago, over here on YouTube, there's several weather channels that have absolutely blown up. They're like millions of subscribers. They're live like all the time, and they've got like 30, 40,000 people watching. It's because people are hip to like this is chaos, and this weather, dropping tornadoes being spun up. I mean, just a couple months ago, it was left and right, left and right, left and right. You didn't know. Now they're bringing in big heat domes, and not only are they bringing in the heat domes, they're dropping these rain bombs. And yes, it was a comment was made on a local weather down there that this the way the weather lady said it. She said that like 10 to 15 inches of rain were allowed to fall. It's the way she said allowed to fall. Allowed to fall. Okay, some of these things, when it comes to the mainstream, it's like all scripted. Like, haven't you seen the clip of like 40 different news stations all saying the same thing at the same time? And then can't you see that you're brainwashed? That it's all script? It is. So, this piece of work, Houston leftist gets booted from Food Insecurity Board after a vile comment calling the missing girls down there a white-only camp, and then just making vile comments that a lot of people are pissed off about, and it cost her job. She's not the only one. Another person here, pediatrician, sparks an uproar after posting an absolute wicked comment about the floods. She had said something about the non-MAGA voters and pets be safe and dry. So basically saying anyone that voted for MAGA and all this going on about climate change, that they deserve this. They get what they voted for. And with the children dying in this, like this evil piece of work, man. Yeah. She needs to lose her job. She is later canned by her employers, it says right here. So just enough of it. I mean, innocent children that are nowhere near the politics in this world, have no clue of what's going on, are dying, to make comments like this. It's just, man, I'd be serving out hard sentences on people like this, for real, because they need a reality check. And we have a man right here, 27-year-old Texas man, saved his fiance, his children, his mother, all from the floodwaters. And it's sad. It's super sad. It was truly a heroic sacrifice here, man. He punched through the glass to get everybody out, and when he did so, it cut the main artery in his arm. He ended up bleeding to death. Lost his life, saving his family. Just sad, but one of the many people here lost their lives in these floods, man.
That a hero, and that will never gone unnoticed.
It just started pouring in. We had to fight the door to get it closed just so that too much didn't come in. And we ran back to the room and we started calling 911.
Julian's fiance, Christina Wilson, says after 20 minutes, the water was up to their knees. Julian punching open a window to try and get her, their children, and his mother to the roof.
It severed his artery in his arm, almost cut it clean off.
Christina says they kept calling 911, but no one came in time to save him.
About 6 o'clock, my husband was dead. He had lost all of it, all his blood. He looked at me and the kids and my mother-in-law, and he was like, sorry, I'm not going to make it. I love y'all.
Christina says she found her fiance after the water receded, but his body wasn't recovered for hours. Now, loved ones remember the man they call a hero.
He was the hero out of this story.
Especially when they told him my brother is dying. They should have went to him first. I mean, that's how I see it.
He's just the kindest person I've ever met in my life, and I will forever love him no matter what.
The four stand together, saying more needs to be implemented to never let this happen again.
All four of you, do you guys think that flood sirens would have saved lives in this situation?
Most likely.
Yes. Yes.
They would have been, everybody would have been worried, what's that noise, what's that noise?
We would have left. We would have went anywhere else. We have so many places we could have gone that were safe.
In Kerrville, I'm Amanda Henderson, KHOU 11 News.
So that's another thing right there about the sirens and everything else, man. There should be sirens in every town, and city. Robert J., thank you for the coffee. I appreciate the support. But a rest in peace to all the people here caught in this. This is weather warfare, 100%. Now look, North Carolina flooding, big time. You can see a road just gone here at this point. And the flooding was just like down in Texas. It was like, it's bad. And this time it was coming from the storm system, tropical system off the East Coast that just ran this river right over top of North Carolina and just dumped, again, torrential amounts of rain. And then the hills and the mountains all running off to the major waterways. They can't handle it. Roads getting wiped out. Things getting washed away. Multiple places dealing with it. All right, gonna keep this moving here. Walmart quietly just captured the beef chain, and this is crazy. And they did. This is nuts. You got to start thinking about where you're getting your meat from. If you get it from Walmart, you got to look deep into what they're doing here. What you can trust. Okay, so what just happened? Walmart dropped nearly $700 million. All right? And they become a gatekeeper here in the beef industry. And what this means is this is a power play. It means they decide what cattle is worth. They decide how it's cut and wrapped. They decide what the consumer pays. The middle is gone. So, according to the USDA, the number of federally inspected beef slaughter plants declined from 297 in 2013 to 271 by 2022. And that's just a headline. Nationwide, over half of small and mid-sized beef processors, those that handle 5 to 500 heads per week, disappeared between 2000 and 2020. It pays to know someone that does this, man. Down here, it's a pretty big thing. Where I'm at, I got an uncle that does it. And it's family that you can trust. You can reach out to, and, family members can split cows and stock their freezers and trust it and not be getting who knows what, because you really just don't know what you're getting dealing with any of these other people. When you can't trust the government, when you can't trust their agencies, when you can't trust none of this. I mean, I'm always reporting on recalls because wood chips and metal and this and that and all in the food, and almost like it's being done on purpose. And like, until I see some guaranteed testing, like, someone needs to do it. I guarantee you it'd be so huge it would go viral. If somebody just went, if they had a means, maybe some of you guys know someone, let me know, because I'll go out and I'll do this. The only thing that I need is a place to test it. I don't have the connection to a place to test it. I would go to Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King. I go to all these joints, and I'd grab a sample of the meat, and I'd have it sent off, and I'd have it tested to see exactly what it is. That simple. And then we're going to get an envelope back, and we're going to open it with the results, and it's going to be like, drum roll. Like, here we go. Like, what is in all the mystery meat? Like, what are you really eating? I think that right there would be like, I think it would go a long way. I mean, I did that maybe a decade ago in terms of the water. I went out and I bought a testing kit, and I tested all the fluoride in all the drinking water, all the bottled water, all the expensive water, all that. And it kind of went viral like that, where people were like, what the? Yeah, I mean, like, people need to know. People unaware of what they're consuming. So in terms of the beef, a heads up there. And it's tariff time again. If you don't know, Trump sends trade letters ahead of this deadline threatening 10% tariffs on BRICS-aligned nations. So this is to, like, anyone that wants to try to step on side of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. You're catching a 10% tariff right off the bat. You either step on side with us or you're on side with them. And it's putting a line in the sand straight up. It's showing who is aligned on what side, if you're paying attention. Any of these countries catching these tariffs, they're countries that are going with China in them. Obviously. So, let me see. They say that the inflection point here in terms of the United States and China's economies, like, clipping, is 2030. Imagine that. 2030 number. They're definitely going to have this stuff collapse down by then. Multiple countries are facing issues. It's not just the United States, the dollar, and this and that. Japan, France. We're going to see Germany. So by late afternoon, the White House kicked out a list here. A total of 7 trade warning letters were put out, and they were addressed to multiple different countries. You can see right here. Here are the trade warning letters per country, and they were sent to Malaysia. So keep in mind, all these are going to be going with Russia and China, is how they see it. That's why they're getting hit with this. Okay. Malaysia, Kazakhstan, South Africa, Laos, Myanmar, South Korea, Japan, Tunisia, Thailand, Cambodia, Serbia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, they're trying to check Japan there, because even though Japan militarily and all this other stuff is supposed to be on our side with us, period. And they are, like, militarily when it comes to China. Economically, though, they've leaned toward trying to do some deals with China for their own better benefit, this and that. And Trump's just kind of like, no, you better fall back and get in line, because this is how it is. So even South Korea, same way. So who does all the investing when it comes to America? Like, who's putting all their money into us? Well, surprisingly, it's the European Union. It's Europe. They spend more than anyone. They spend 140 billion. 45% of what we take in is invested from Europe. So it's a huge chunk. So when you see us splitting from NATO on this whole Ukraine stuff, if there's ever a big fracture right there, it's going to be big. If you remove that, and that all goes to, and it can't go to Russia and China because that's who they're trying to go to freaking war with. They would isolate themselves. So they couldn't go jump on board with the other side because that's literally who they are pledged to go to war with constantly. With Japan, they invest 13%. All the other markets combined out there is 13%. Canada is 13%. United Kingdom, a big one, 12%. And like globally, like that's the biggest chunks, man. That's where all the money's flowing in from. All right. Let's dive into the big, beautiful bill real quick. Of course, they gutted the AI provision out of it, which we discussed, and some other things were removed as well. Last minute, they had to do those things because it wasn't going to get passed through. Some people were going to stall it out if those things were not removed. That's why they were removed. So, there's a few things here that's going to go down. What this means for your wallet. Now, the standard deduction is going to increase to $15,750 for single filers and $31,500 for married couples filing jointly. Okay, the estate and gift tax exemption rises to $15 million for individuals and $30 million for couples. The child tax credit grows to $2,200 per child starting in 2025, with up to $1,700 refundable. For new parents, right now, they're saying that children born between 2025 and 2028, under this provision, the government will make a one-time $1,000 deposit for every eligible child who is a U.S. citizen. Like, that's going to go far, but something's better than nothing. Families with children. Families raising kids under 17 will see an expanded tax relief under the bill. The child tax credit will increase from $2,000 to $2,200. Car buyers will be able to deduct up to $10,000 in interest on new auto loans taken out between 2025 and 2028. But that will be a short-lived thing. Seniors. The deduction phases out for individuals earning over $75,000 and earning over $150,000 for couples, and is unavailable to single filers earning $175,000 or more, or for people. So if you're earning over $250,000, married couple, or over $175,000, you can't get that if you're a senior. And student borrowers, they will be restricted to $20,500 per year in a lifetime maximum of $100,000 on these loans. Like, that's going to be helping anybody. Really. So these were some of the carrots that they were throwing out there that really wasn't much when our deficit's going to go through the roof. And to Elon's point, why did they do Doge at all if they were going to turn around and throw in an extra $5 trillion in debt on top of everything? He was used, obviously. It seems really butthurt over it. We're going to dive into that here in a minute. First, a doctor facing 35 years in prison for issuing COVID-19 cards to no-vax patients. So, this is deep. This is out of Vero Beach, Florida. a Utah plastic surgeon. Dr. Kirk Moore is facing 35 years in federal prison for destroying thousands of vials of COVID-19, giving his patients vaccine cards without taking the shots, and then injecting saline into children whose parents wanted them to believe that they got vaccinated without risking the deadly side effects. So they all did this with consent, but they're pissed off that he juked the system. And they're going to try to give him 35 years, which is ridiculous. Pathetic. I'm going to tell you right now, other people did this out there in mass, and they did it to protect their people, to protect their community, to protect their children. And again, this comes down to the system being screwed and not having righteous judges and anything like that on the panel. Everything's so set up. So they'll try to make an example out of this guy. But 35 years, you kidding me? When people that are murderers out there are getting way less, like, and rapists and everything else and drug dealers, get out of here, man. Like, it ticks me off, man. There's all kinds of different avenues and aspects and angles to this. But the fact that these were people that wanted this done, it just pisses me off. If he was being deceptive and people come in there and they thought they were getting jail, really wanted, and like he was giving them saline instead, then like you could argue that like he deserves some kind of punishment on that. But like, no, he was like, people were saying they didn't want it and we're just needing the card to show proof. You lived through it. And I know a ton of other people out there can relate to this. There's other people out there that they're going to hear the story that are probably scared to death, thinking that they're about to spend the rest of their life in jail because of what they've done. And it's just, with so much other stuff going on out there in high crimes. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know, man. This place is done. This place is done for. One more, think about it, man. One more big event, we're done. It's over. Stick a fork in us. The healthcare system is now nothing but a scam. Literally, it's nothing but a scam. And if you try to go to the doctor and get results, and you are absolutely lucky and blessed if you've got a doctor that actually cares, listens, and gets results for you. Like, you don't know how many people that I know that like go to the doctor trying to get things figured out, and like it's always a mystery, and like they can never get answers. They're always pawned off onto someone else. It's like no one cares. For instance, I've had the same experience. I've been trying to get an answer for going on years now of why my hands are numb and like for no reason. It's not a come and go thing. It's like a constant, and it sucks. But it is what it is. I've gone to so many doctors, and I appreciate it when people drop like, try this, try that. But like, look, I've heard it all under the sun. All right. I've gone to every specialist they've tried to send me to and all this stuff, but I go into a doctor, a specialist up at the big hospital, and they do a shock test on me, going down the arms and all that stuff to test the nerves. And I told them my biggest issue is like my left hand, is where it all started. And they couldn't give me no answers. Well, like, he's shocking my arm, and like I'm feeling it, he's working his way down. But it gets down to where, like, to my left hand specifically, and like when they shock you with this thing, like you jump, like just the whole point, like you give a reaction. We hit my hand, it didn't move. He did it again. He did it 5 times before it finally gave a little bit of a reaction. And like, you see, well, like, They didn't say like much of 2 words in there for that. They're like, we're going to let your doctor, we're going to get the results. We'll let your doctor know, and they'll get in touch with you. And I'm like, all right. So I leave, right? I get an update from the doctor. It's basically a call that basically says everything checked out fine. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I sat there in the office and they visually seen it with their own eyes. They shocked me and like it did nothing. Like something's going on. And you want to tell me like nothing? Like, ugh. Like, all right, so, yeah, this healthcare system sucks. I've watched so many people die in it. I watched my grandma die. I watched her die. Watched her jaw drop up. It pisses me off. These stupid healthcare systems, hospitals. Nothing but a scam and a scheme, man. Don't spend too much time trying to figure out what's wrong with me. It doesn't matter. We all live and we die. And as far as I can tell, it's like when I drop, I drop. When it's over, it's over. Like, you put in the work and the time while we're here, do everything you can, and then it's done. So what was it all for? I'm telling you, this is a proving ground. You better not be squandering every day, every moment. It's proving ground. It's either that or it's for nothing. So which one do you see it? That you're just a slave? I see it. It's proving ground that you walk righteous as promised. There's a better life. There's a new heaven and a new earth, a better place being built on righteous frequency. That's where I want to spend my days. This place is like a jail cell. This place sucks. It has beautiful aspects, but with so many demons in it, you can't enjoy it. You can't do nothing but be a slave and be mauled and used and abused and everything you can think of. It's so evil of a place. It's like high evil. Like literally, you wonder why it's written that we're locked here and other entities are locked here with us. Just wait till they show themselves. The big show hasn't even begun yet. So keep it pushing. Jump into the politics. This piece of if you don't know, throughout the whole election and Biden and everyone flipped out that it was a rigged election and all this, and then Trump. Well, here in Kentucky, we went through it too, and everybody in this place voted for there's Trump everywhere. Trump on everything. There wasn't a Biden, nothing. Like every so often you might see one, but it's heavy Trump everywhere, down these mountains, down these back roads. It's just what it was. So to have Andy Beshear, a Democrat, win again by the smallest margin, everyone swore it was a setup, and now we're stuck with him for what is his final term. But we were thinking, get him out of here. Like, after this is over, he's out of here. We got to get somebody else righteous in here. Because he's just a damn demon rat. And he's a bad one. Okay? He's a bad one. He's done just very few things in this state that's been good. All throughout lockdowns and everything, he tried all the tyrannical stuff. But guess who saved us? My AG, our Attorney General. And all the other people in my state, they rose to the occasion. They said, nope, we ain't doing it. Huge moment. They overrode him and said, F you. And we're not doing it. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not doing none of it. And they ended up dropping all the stuff. And he tried it. But the people here rose to the occasion. So they know, majority know we're being held hostage. And just... They didn't think that we were going to get scammed in the election. And like, they have no way to prove that it was a setup, even though everybody knows he went like 0.000, like the slimmest margin. His dad was a demon rat. He was a politician as well. Steve Beshear. And that's the only reason this man, he's part of the club. Why does it matter? He's talking about running for president. 2028. I mean, you already know who the other people are out there that are floating around. AOCs, Kamala, Newsom, and this would be one of the other ones. Well, the president or vice president, I could see him trying for it, and the hell with all of them. None of these people are righteous. If they were, I would tell you. They're not. None of them are. This is a mafia. You live what you call a government. It's a mafia. It's really a mafia. It's been that way for the longest time. Ever since they started taking out their own sitting president in an occult ritual called the process of the killing of the king. How Kennedy was taken out. And Bush 1 Senior was there front and center for that. Of course, baby Bush was, it was his watch, Blind 11. All these fools, man, we've been played so hard. So hard. Trump's here. The scary part is Trump's here to bring the reset. He said this on camera. When he speaks and it's not off teleprompter, you never know what's going to come out. And he said it himself. He goes, yeah, I'm here to reset this whole thing. Oh, really? That means a huge event's coming. See, I don't forget these things, man. Gentile Messiah. Netanyahu tonight, as he's in the United States with Trump, says he nominates Trump. A wanted war criminal is here in the United States nominating Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize because he's been such a good little boy. Yeah, that's right. He's been such a good little boy. It's ridiculous. So, Elon, he mentions that he's starting what he calls the American Party. And this catches the attention of many. Then news broke that an FCC filing was made on it. He was quick to retract that and say that, no, that's false news. But others, when they went to pool today, they said, no, there's a real filing here. And somebody's lying. And then he come out and he said, well, he goes, it's all going to be finalized here very soon. So it doesn't matter if it was just done or not. It's a real deal. They're pushing it, whether paperwork was done, this or that or not. You have guys showing they're ready to go on board with Elon. You have Mark Cuban. You have Scaramucci. You have all these other guys. So it's it's thinning at the pack, or any of the other people that don't want to be on board with Trump. It's like Gary said, pick a team, any team. What does it matter? This new option, the America Party. I mean, really, it was a left-right paradigm, so we can't call it that no more. So you would call it's still, what it still is and always will be, is the illusion of choice. Doesn't matter how many different flavors they want to put on the stage, right? As long as it's not one of us, a blue-collar, poor person from the street, like one of us that really represents. And you know what happens anytime that goes down? They kill them. The only answer here is for the people to rally en masse and rise en masse like a tidal wave. And to start outing the corruption, throwing it in a jail cell and keeping it there and rounding it all up and doing it swiftly. Swiftly. That's right. Rounding up the corruption and the evil. There's no righteous guys, man. There's no A-team coming to the rescue. There's no one out here to do it. The closest thing this country's got right now, we don't even have active militias. It's scary. You've got Tom Homan's ICE teams rolling around, deporting people en masse. And I'm telling you, if another lockdown situation happens, those guys, those crews will be used on all of us purebloods. You watch. They're getting real life, real time training right now rounding people up left and right in the flesh. And when it comes to lockdowns and a deadly disease, these would be just the guys to do it. Same team, same everything. Who else you going to call on? Why pay for anything else? Why make anything else? These guys have already been trained in doing it all. They would by default assume the role. So Trump blasts Musk for launching this party, saying it's a train wreck, that it's going to create chaos. I'm not even going to Truth Social. Okay, so he makes these comments, and you can tell he's pretty butthurt over the whole thing. It seems they're both pretty butthurt, and they act like it's high school. These are supposed to be the leaders. They are the leaders of the free world here in, Elon kind of paid his way on in there, didn't get what he wanted, and leaving, screaming and kicking. I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't trust none of this. I don't trust none of it. New party by Elon. It's like, get out of here. Just get out of here. Where we at? Top of the hour. I was still waiting for Hillary to go to prison. These fools out here. So, let's top of the hour here. Let's go ahead, switch gears, and we get some shout outs here. Just folks, much love, Boomer. I want to thank anyone that shares the stream. Again, thank you, Robert, Bill, for the coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. And Steve for the super chat. If you get anything to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. I do see several stories popping in. I will get to them definitely and read all of these thoroughly. If you have anything breaking that's popping off, put breaking in the title for sending it to me. That way I know, because you get a lot of stuff coming in. That way I know to go ahead and open it and check it during the stream. And you can also at me at dabu77 in the chat to get my attention. Yeah, they're all related by blood. It's true. It's true. It's one big family. All the way back through, what was it, Charlemagne? On Trump's mom's side. Yeah, all the presidents that we've had have been related. That's how I knew that Kamala was not going to, and if you rewind and go back in time, I'm on record saying that it was one of my big key points on why it was going to be Trump that won it and took the whole thing. That I was given a vision that Trump was going to win it and they were going to crash the economy on him on his watch, and we're there. But we're not to crash the economy part yet. But it was the fact that when you dug into Kamala, neither side of her bloodline tied in to the major tree where all the presidents were. Biden was in there, and that's why he was key for them. Whether it was a man in a mask or this or that or whatever it was with Biden, all of the whole freaking bloodline, man. She wasn't. That right there, that's all it took. What are you going to tell me that all of a sudden they're going to break the tradition for this? No. And Trump took it, because again, he's in on this. Did I vote Kamala? I don't vote in a rigged system, Peter. We are above that. We are beyond that. If you're someone that thinks you can keep voting in change, you are badly damaged. And if you're going to keep doing it, that's called insanity, expecting a different result. Seriously, it's called insanity. This is a left-right paradigm, both sides of the aisle controlled by the same club. If you ain't hip to that, if you ain't intelligent enough to be there, even though I'm telling you right now the truth of it, and you can't accept it and you can't soak it up, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you're just that bad at damaged goods. Voting does not work in a rigged system. Keep on believing in illusion. Some of us figured this out decades ago. Okay? Again, even with the new party, it's all an illusion of choice. Okay? If you want to stay stuck on, oh, you would have voted for Biden, you would have voted for Kamala, that's a weak excuse. We're past that. No, nobody would have voted for them. You would have voted for Trump because he was the better pick of the two, and we gave you that. We gave you that out, okay? But now that he's in there, you don't hold him responsible for nothing. For nothing. Show up bumping them guns if something stupid. Some people are pathetic. All they do is run their mouth, keyboard warriors. They don't even do that. I ask people to get over on Twitter and like reach out to their governors and senators. People can't even do that. It's weak. They can't do nothing. People do nothing, but they sit there and watch, listen. Do nothing. Can't even do the simplest thing. Don't have to hop in your car. Don't have to pick up the phone, call no one, see them in person. All you have to do is just drop a message online. And people can't even do that. That's why we are done. We're done for. People can't even do that. So just remember that. When this whole thing comes down, you're like, why? It's because of inactivity. Of people sitting there doing nothing. MAGA, which is satanic and demonic, it sucked up all your so-called patriots and militiamen. It got them sitting over there. So it's screwed. They did you in. It's done. And I'm telling you the truth of it, but yet people don't want to accept it. We want to sit there in disbelief. Well, you go show me the big militia that's making a big stand. Where the hell they been this whole time? Would we miss them? What rock were they hiding under? Huh? Ridiculous. We're on this stuff day in and day out, and I have been for almost 2 decades. Okay? Ain't nobody coming to the rescue. Ain't no one coming to save nobody. Okay? It's on you. It's on you. I'm going to be honest with you. The scariest part is this. Elon releases these legions of Optimuses. We're done. Spent all this time stacking ammunition, ready to fight the Chinese or the Russians or the blue helmets or whoever. Those bullets ain't going to work on Optimus, on a bulletproof Optimus that's equipped with heat-seeking missiles and lasers and guns and can blow itself up and all this other stuff like Predator, like or Terminator, like I mean, you name it. Like it's here, it's real. The man is in possession of an army that he has not released yet. You piss this dude off. Like I'm telling you, if he could take over his own area and have his own country and then be able to establish it as his own spot and then make an army for it, he would launch them. He has warehouse after warehouse after warehouse of these things. You think they're just going to sit there and rust? They are going to use them on a war front at some point, and it's going to be game-changing. And if they use them here, I don't know, let's say in a cleanup situation, you don't even send it, like you send them in front. You always send them in front like the scout. You know, and they'll do a good job of it. They'll take a reading on everything. They'll pick up a heat signature on everything, a heartbeat on anything moving around. I mean, it's scary. You think you're going to outrun these things, beat them. I'm telling you, I've said it before. I could see a team of these Optimuses rolling up in a Cybertruck into a neighborhood, hopping out, and they would wipe out every single house to house. You would hear it coming, the screams next door, and no one would be able to stop it. Just one Cybertruck full will be wiping out neighborhoods. Pull up in the hood downtown somewhere, man, homies be pulling out their fully automatics, putting them on them, and it still ain't putting them down. They be dropping their guns and running. You literally are going to need a tank, a garbage truck, like something to like plow over these bad boys and park on top of them to like pin them down. Like people are going to have to start thinking of these things, man. And what do you do when they're shooting at you and everything else? Like, dude, we've entered a whole new world. Beyond 2030 is a scary place here. Like, you better just get it while the getting is good. Like, I seen a picture of my buddy down at the beach with another buddy of mine down in Florida, and they were just having a good time, throwing some football, and just hanging out, friends and family, and they were getting it in. I was like, man, you know what? You know how long it's been? Like, but everybody should be doing that right now because it's probably the last taste of it you're going to get. When these events pop off, you should be planning for the event, but I don't know, man. I'd say people will be quicker to go out and do something enjoyable and get those memories in, and they'll be screwed when the time comes versus preparing. So, I mean, it's whatever. You know, if you've spent all these years preparing, you know, you deserve to have some memories in life with friends and family before it all hits the fan, before we get locked down again like the real deal. And life is never the same. Before they wreck this place like you ever thought was imaginable. Yeah, I'm telling you, when real lockdowns happen, it's going to be a scary thing. And I don't see how I'm going to live through it because I won't come out of these mountains. I'll survive in these mountains with what I got. But like, society will never see me again because if you step out into society, you'll be forced to gunpoint to have to show proof that you've taken what they're dishing out. And I ain't dealing with it. I'll serve up lead before that. You understand me? Some of us will ride this thing out all the way to the end, all the way through. And maybe you'll never know. Maybe some of us will never know how it ends. We'll just always have to wonder, but it won't be too long. We'll all meet up on the other side. We all go back into spirit form. This is just a vessel, baby. You got to remember, energy never dies. It only transforms into a different shape. It doesn't matter if you're not religious or spiritual or anything. If you're intelligent and you realize this, that your energy, then you know you never die. And you know you're in a vessel. And you're just along for this ride. And I've told you this before. In this body, in this cycle, you get your memory wiped. You're literally born into amnesia. You are born into a sack of fluid that is amnesia fluid. It's amnesia fluid, amniotic fluid. It is the design of this place, man. I'm trying to give you the keys to get out, but you got to do it yourself. Yeah, I could sit there and tell somebody all day how to ride a bike, but they got to learn themselves to have them training wheels come off. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm going to dive back into this, man. Like, I can't help but think, though, there's only so many more times, so many more days that I'll be here doing this before all this happens. This is what I'm being told, like, warned right now. It's being pressed upon me. Just think about that. Whatever that means. Not a good sign that I got a lot of time left, or whatever. So let's dive into the demons. And much love, Ike. Thank you for the super chat. Epstein, clearly, from what we know, a Mossad operation. Look, from what I know, this goes far beyond Epstein. This dives down into every realm you could think of. The music industry, Hollywood, all this. All the upper echelon stuff, all the sports stars. They're all tied into the big club, and the club is a master at blackmailing. Just to get into the club. For example, Skull and Bones, which is classic. Go look it up, do the research if you don't know. John Kerry, a Democrat, George Bush, a Republican, both Bonesmen's brothers in the club, but went down the different aisle to fool the people, play the game. Okay? That's a classic example how set up this whole thing is. So the Mossad, obviously, you can tell just by the nature of Trump pulling out Netanyahu's chair, who's controlling who here, who's dubbing who what, and everything else. Well, all right. The FBI, the same Dan Bongino and Kash Patel that came out and said he didn't kill himself. Like, look, I'm telling you, I seen the file. Like, these dudes are sellouts. They're pieces of work. They're garbage. They do not represent us. They're treason. They're not to be trusted for nothing. They are the enemy at this point. They are busted. And I'm lightweight kind of confused. Like, do you think that people are really this stupid? Like, or are you this stupid? Like, I know there's a lot of intelligence and smarts up in there, but like, you really thought you were just going to work this over on the people? I mean, maybe the people are just that freaking dumb. That docile, as I tell you all the time, that this is what you get. The crowd's this stupid, guys. I know some of you guys got it figured out. Some of you are smart and some of you see it, but since the crowd's so stupid, we gotta do this. You know, that's what they're saying. That's what they're doing. Pisses me off. Much love, Ziggy. They are wizards. They're witches, wizards, warlocks. Yes. So FBI concludes today. Epstein had no clients. He didn't blackmail anyone. And he definitely killed himself. This is the most laughable, sick, heinous, treasonous crock of crap after Kash Patel said that he believed he killed him. All this stuff, after all the evidence and all the proof that we know we have. Okay? All right. I shared a meme tonight. Okay? Shared a meme for the show. Go ahead, just pull it up if you missed it. Seeing is believing, and you'll remember it more. If you didn't see it, go ahead and pull it up. This shows, well, I have a couple here. Shows Kash Patel trying to chop this video and trying to get you guys to buy it, which we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna show that they're smoked, they've lied, they're busted. But this is the meme I was talking about, and this makes all the sense in the world. All you got to do is ask yourself this question: if there were no clients, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail? I fear for her life. Bigger than ever right now. They're dropping bodies and they're not afraid to. I'm surprised she's made it this long. Big Chief is a conspiracy theorist. He thinks Jeff is hiding out in Tel Aviv and that Ghislaine ain't in jail. Hey, free to think of what you want, bro. I feel that this is an embarrassment for the feds to come out and say there was no list. Look at what I just said. Why is she in jail then? Why? How could you prosecute her? How could you Hold on a second. Even if it's one name, there's a list. They're dead in the water on this. We already have somebody that's already been proven to be on a list. And to be at his place with a young girl, that was Virginia Giffrey. But guess what? She can't talk because she was smacked by a bus and shot and killed herself conveniently or something. Suicided herself, right? Right before all this. Like, get out of here. Prince Andrew. And we all know it. You would tell me there's no list? I guess you want to tell me there's no picture of Bill Clinton in a dress on the wall. Neither, too, right? You pieces of. These guys should be arrested by the righteous citizen republic tonight for crimes of treason against this country, of cover up, of all this stuff, and for participating in it. Everybody does, but it's the whole freaking thing. We're so sold out, it's just never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, this place is done. There has to be a higher power come back and level this place. There has to be. Because no man can do it. Who can wage war with the beast? So Trump's going to send more weapons to Ukraine. Let me see if oh, here we go. Look at this. Looky here. So this is the prison cell photo that the DOJ released right after he supposedly committed suicide. They're so sloppy and crappy that you're going to see the mistake they made. Okay. This is an obvious in your face cover up. We've got to talk about it. You need to talk about it. You need to share it with all your friends and family. Everybody needs to know about it. You need to air it out. I don't know how far to go, but look, we're going to put the proof right out there. This is the cell. Do you notice anything about it? Take notes. Take notes. Okay. There's a number on the door. It's slightly covered. It says 2-0, but it's on the door. The clipboard's next to it. The tape's over it. There's a piece of paper also over the window right there. We can only see over the top of it. Why that is, I don't know, because I don't know. Anyhow, this is what they told us. This is what they released. Okay. and I like that one. They'll blow up the planet before showing you my list of friends. So true. See if I got it down here. It must be at the top then. It must already pass. Let me go back up. Where's that? It's not on my feed. I tweeted it out. Dude, this stuff pisses me off. Like, where did you go? It means it's just removed from my feed. It's not here. I don't get it. I tweeted out the clip of the footage of the jail cell where it's missing a minute of footage. I tweeted it out. Like, dude, this is pissing me off. All right. Is what it is. Let me see if I can go over here and locate it. Better yet, let me think I've got it's got to be in here somewhere. It's got to be in here. Give me a second. We're gonna all these oh, there it is. Do you see this? This is a completely different cell. Okay. Let me pull this back over here one more time. You should see. Do you see this? See how this is? It's a completely different setup. The walls are different. They're painted different. It's a complete different. It's like a total different place. Like, so which is it? Did you lie to us before with the first image? Or did you lie to us this time with the video footage that has a full minute cut out of it and cropped out of it? And they didn't think people would get it, right? This is totally different. This is a clipboard on the wall and a bus box or something, or right here. This is a phone on the wall, and 46 says it all. There's no window. There's no... dude. They think the people are this stupid that they can get away with doing this. I'm showing you right here that Absolutely ridiculous. Let me play a little bit of this clip. So yeah, there's the footage that they're showing of it, and there ends up being a minute. Now, you cannot trust Grok. Grok is AI trained on lies and on believing that certain things are conspiracy. Somebody asked about Grok about dumbs and said they were conspiracy theories. That's garbage. They are proven fact. Deep underground military bases are 100% real. Grok is a lying piece of All right? Screw Elon, his Grok, his Tesla, his robots, all of it. He could shove it all. His Neuralinks, all of it. He's as evil as it comes. So, again, check this out. If Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, then why did Pam Bondi tell reporters that the list is sitting on her desk to review? Why? And you're not going to see it in these lists. Why did she go on to say that there's videos of child porn with people? She said this. Did people forget about that? Man, this is like an IQ test again, and it's like it's testing the crowd. This is really what this is about. To see if they're that dumbed down. I mean, it just keeps coming back to this, man. Same thing. It pisses me off when some of us see right through this. See what else we got here.
Yeah, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Not yet. Chills.
We all did. And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m. Thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Okay, I want to be clear because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more. You were expecting more, and you didn't find out less than 24 hours before the release. You got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure. And you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? And that's what the FBI had turned over to us. And so a source said, well,
dude, I can't get over this. I cannot believe they just came out and told everybody there's no list, there's no nothing. Listen to everything this woman just said. The victims, everything. What about them? How could there be victims if there's no clients, if there's no people? Like, dude, you were living in a mafia that's doing whatever they want right in front of the people's faces and no one's going to do nothing. It pisses me off. It's sickening. Like, this place is done beat. It's done conquered. Okay? They've done conquered the West. They've done conquered the people.
whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can. But but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254. Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday.
Yeah.
But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know. The Biden administration sat on these documents. No one did anything with them. And why were they sitting in the Southern District of New York? I want a full report on that. You know, sadly, these people don't believe in transparency, but I think more, unfortunately, I think a lot of them don't believe in honesty. And it's a new day, it's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public.
You're a modern day witch. And this is black magic at its finest, being used on the masses, is what this is. Truckloads, many, many, many victims by their own admission, and then turn around and tell you all nothing happened. I almost want to like shut everything down, just end it like right here, like give somebody like that's what you need to think about. Like, really, is this where we sit? Like, everybody's just going to take this and you're just going to continue to sit there, off to the next story, off to the next story, off to the next story. Like, when are people going to get up off that tail and do something about something? This is treason. Right in front of your face. It's self-explanatory treason. Everybody knows it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no debating anything. They're lying straight to your face. They should be arrested for doing this. No one's got the kahunas to do that. Even people that took an oath to serve and protect this country for all their days against threats both foreign and domestic. Where you at? Resurrect that little part of the oath against threats foreign and domestic. But he's so gung-ho to sign up and join the military, go to some other country and kill someone else, someone else's people. But when you know the problem sits in your own country, you won't say a word about it. You won't say a word about where the problem's at. You'll let your sons and daughters still join the military to go play a stupid game, to go murder innocent people somewhere else when you know where the problem really is. That's why you're done, America. Everyone want to point the finger, look the other way, blame someone else, turn the cheek, act like they don't know what you're talking about. What? Play stupid. Fools. It's disgusting. I don't even know what to say, man. It's just like everything. This whole thing. If you're going to let this slide, if you're just going to let this go, again, ain't no one going to do nothing. No one ever does nothing. Ever. No, that's not a call for some nutcase to load up and go and assassinate someone or anything like that. I ain't talked no violence this whole time. You can peaceful protest. You can gather in your numbers. The power is in the people and the politics that we address. The power is in your numbers. If you flex them, you can get results. That's a fact. But you got to be strategic. You got to be consistent. Timing is everything. And they say, You don't go to war unless you got your money right. You better get your money right before you go to war, right? Yeah, that's what we've been lacking. Anyone has any money, what is afraid to touch us, afraid to support us? Real patriots, real riders out there, so they missed their opportunity. Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. There are people out there willing, but there has to be a means. And when you've got 1,000 billionaires out there and not one is righteous, you don't stand a chance. And they're printing the money, making the money, and all this. That's why the whole idea of being able to make money is revolutionary right now. Not the fact that it's tied to a blockchain. Okay, the blockchain again isn't evil. It's a technology that can be used by evil to track you and do all kinds of bad things, just like they could kill you with a gun. But a gun can be used by good people to save lives and do good things. Same way the blockchain could be good as technology for a business to hash and store all their data and all the transactions. It can be really good for those things. But again, it's all about the wickedness that's here. You are never going to get the good out of any of these things, any of these technologies. You're only going to get the bad and the things that benefit them. Okay? They're never going to stop. It's only going to accelerate from here. And this is like you're protecting the pedo now. Miss Witch and company, you're protecting the pedo. Why would that be? That you already know, that you all know. But to say there's no list, there was no blackmailing, there's no nothing after this woman right here said that there's many, many victims, and you all know it. Like, what is what here? Like, which one did you lie in? Again, just like the photo. Like, which cell was really the real cell? Like, you're caught in so much crap here. Like, why would you do this? I tell you why. They're sitting there watching, gauging the reaction. Someone like me, they're pinging. You know me, I'm at the top of the list. They're going to kill me anyway, probably. So, they're gauging and seeing that most of the audience doesn't. They say this loudmouth over here, top of 7, he's really trying to, but he's still the people. They were probably saying, but still the people aren't. No one's doing anything, even though he's pissed off. He's saying all the right thing. No one's doing anything. Like, so we win. That's what they're saying. They say we win because they sit there and do nothing. Ridiculous. Man. Somebody gonna have to do something. Jay, thank you. Much love being a member of the underground. And much love for everything. If somebody's gonna have to do something. What's the worst that can happen? They can kill you. You can't take my soul. You do know that every single person that rode for Jesus and believed in Jesus, they all died brutal deaths, right? I ask God to just make it quick. No matter how it is, it's quick, right? No suffering. And then it's done. And then energy is on to the other side with everybody you know that's been sitting there waiting. And there's an expansion of consciousness. It's the whole point of this life, is trying to rise your vibration and open your consciousness. And once you're outside of the body, you're going to realize that it's going to be too late then, because you're going to be fully expanded in consciousness. Again, you're trapped in a vessel here, and you're born into amniotic fluid. You're in an operating system that is holding you back. Okay, you understand this? There's certain features and certain things that stop you from doing, and you have built in things that were put here for a reason that they fight hard against, like fluoridating your pineal gland. It's a real deal. It's the seat of your soul. It's your antenna, man. That's what the whole process of the chrism cycles through. But what do you know about that? What do you know about really getting out of here? Huh? If something higher told you to operate a certain way, so you set off a certain frequency, so it could see you when it came back, when it came to retrieve harvest time, it knew where the good was because you were vibrating higher. You listened. Do you understand that? This world's missing that. Man, they're just running around doing whatever they want in every city. All across this country, all across the world, they're doing whatever they want. Demons running, they're bored and wild. Just partying, doing whatever they want, going wherever they want. Everybody just doing a bunch of evils. No one's trying to actually discipline themselves. Besides like some monks up in the Tibetan mountains. But you wonder why they do it. They do it because they understand. They don't do it for nothing. They understand this whole process of finding higher self. Not being lost in this life. I feel like a lot of us are lost because we were born lost. You were never taught none of this stuff. You never had a teacher, a good, solid teacher to teach you all these critical things. It's critical, yet so censored. Look, man. If you'd ask me who's the most heinous people and demons, I would have to say they are the pedos. They are the dark cult that are not only sexually doing stuff to these people that just got completely covered up in the open, but they're murdering and killing people en masse more than you even want to know. You think it's bad, the people in public and in the open that get offed and killed all the time, and famous people that go against them? Just imagine all the kidnapped people that just get tossed like nothing. They're offed and they're done. Used for a party weekend and they're done. Dumped in the ocean. Off the yacht. It gets deep and sick. Let me tell you, that's just like normal practice. When it comes to the children, it pulls on the heartstrings of many of them. Even it takes real evil to sit there and participate, even watch. It's that. I can't even say, you know where I'm going with this, of children. And when it comes to adrenochrome, the real drug, the real elixir, none of it's ever mentioned. Never will be. Not in this system. How could it be? All the judges, all the court, everything's rigged. Everything's ran by members of the club. It's all... Dude, it's stacked against you. When it comes to these feds, this federal government, they are a mafia. I'm going to play this clip here, Tom Fenton, going off about this. And I'm not the biggest fan of Tom, but he's done some good work. Definitely not the biggest fan of Bannon. Bannon, remember when he supposedly got out of prison and he was walking up and they showed him on camera walking up to the people picking him up to give a hug and all this other stuff, like he was walking out of the prison gates and all this other crap. It was staged because my man came walking up with a fresh tan. And they can get, but this is all theatrics and movies, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I read the memo 3 or 4 times again this morning, and
Here we go.
It's really. I don't think even the Biden administration would have written anything like this. I just don't think they could have thought they could get away with it. And I got to wonder what is going on at the leadership of the Justice Department and the FBI to allow them to think that statements like as follows. This is a classic. Of course, we're suing for this stuff, right? And so they say the systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So there's a client list, but it's not incriminating, so therefore you can't see it. There is also no credible evidence that found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Well, give us the incredible evidence. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So they uncovered evidence, but it wasn't enough to predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So you can go line by line and kind of, go through this analysis that I'm going through. It may be unfair or overly critical, but in my view, unless you have the records to back up the conclusions you've drawn in a case such as this isn't worth much. And it's disturbing. It was leaked to Axios. Second time there's been a leak to Axios, by the way, by this Justice Department and FBI. Remember, we sued for the Biden videotapes of his interview with her. We were in court, literally in federal court. They're stonewalling us. And what do? They give it to Axios. Here they give it to Axios. And this memo, by the way, it kind of drips with contempt for people like you, Bannon, for Judicial Watch, for anyone asking questions. Give us the document.
Judicial Watch. No, listen. I'd love Mark Caputo. We've had him on the show. We're going to have him on the show again because they leaked to him the Kennedy, the massive CIA leak, and John Solomon, the best. So you got Fenton, you got Bannon, you got Solomon. So hang on. So I have no problem with Mike Allen and Axios. It is the consensus thinking of the apparatus. Okay. Also, some people at the White House are quite close to these people. So this was a well thought through leak to a super prominent, particularly late at night, more than Drudge. Everybody will read Axios on a Sunday night before you go. This is a bounce exclusive. But I just want for the audience to be very specific. Judicial Watch and Tom Fenton are suing DOJ. I think the FBI. What are you suing about? Why is your suit?
I don't care for Bannon at all. He's in on this. He's one of their shills. He's the definition of a shill. Trump administration, federal government shill. It's all he is. 100%. He ain't asking the hard questions, calling out who's on that list. He's not doing none of that crap. No, he's not, because he's probably on that list. It's real deal. Why do you think Elon said it? Why do you think he fired that shot when he got super pissed? He said it. Definitely wasn't a joke. It was going for the jugular type shot. Is how he's seen it. Even though the dust kind of settled, but it's fired back up. Especially with Elon trying to say he's creating this whole other thing. Now, the world is a stage, man. These guys are actors at the highest levels, man. So, and I will say they're very immature just in their own right. Like, Trump and Elon both act like this big kid sometimes, and it's Trump always has, like, an arrogant, like, spoiled brat. he just always has, even back when you look at the footage of him with Epstein sitting there clapping his hands, looking at these women and shaking his butt, acting like he's dancing around. Like he's pathetic. But that's him. That dude spent his whole life living like that. You don't think that arrogant dude ain't seen bodies dropped? Dudes ain't been off and Trump doesn't know about it? You don't think? Get out of here. Get out of here. Mister, you're fired. Trump at this, get out of here, man. Like, it makes you wonder, when you really think about it, how many guys in this life are gone, that you never heard of, never will, or anything else because of dealings of, they're just offed. They're removed. Just like the Clinton cartel. It's got body counts and everything else, man. Those are more known and brought up. But so many people here that voted for Trump that are part of the crowd, like, are afraid to say anything. Some are starting to wake up and question things. They need to more. Yeah, man. Oh, gosh. And much love from Jay from the Ville. I follow Danny. Danny follows me. Bill Clinton's got a strange son out there named Danny Williams. And it's a trip, man. It's Bill Clinton's son. It's his estranged son, Danny Williams. He sent me this image about Happy Father's Day. It just had me laughing. Just how much of a scandal these for. I told you, surprised Danny's still alive, man. But he's his blood, so who knows? There's rules to the game here. All right, I'm going to go on to this next one. These prove big points. This one says, bombshell. The DOJ caught cutting 60 seconds from the newly released footage. 10 hours of footage. So a minute's gone. I told you this already, but then this says, wait, what? If there was no Epstein client list, then why did an NY court refuse the Gateway Pundit's legal request for the list based on an anonymous John Doe who was on the list? We all know. See, all these questions are flying. They're done. They've lied. They're busted. They're pinned to the ground on this one. How they could have not known that this was going to happen is ridiculous. That makes me start to think that they're watching this. They're gauging this. They're really going to see if the majority of the audience just takes this, because if so, they can do anything that they want. They can do anything that they want. If they can come out and drop this information and no one does nothing, they can do anything that they want. It's just a confirmation for them. And it sweeps this whole thing under the rug. It gets it gone forever. It can never be mentioned again by then, although for sure a firestorm has been created. I mean, this isn't going away, man. So look at this. This is what I told you about Grok. The Gateway Pundit catches Grok pissing in the wind again. It smears the Gateway Pundit on Epstein's video, not knowing that they have the official video. So again, this AI is only trained on so much. It's trained on what the evil people want it to be trained on. As I told you earlier, if they're calling dumb as part of a conspiracy theory or this and that, that's the information it's going to spit back out. Same thing here. It tried to smear the Gateway Pundit, saying that no, that they were wrong and this and that, and they weren't. Grok was not aware that it didn't have the human consciousness and intelligence to see that they have the original. Like, they got a copy of the full video posted from the DOJ website right there. Is where they got it. But Grok is just, it's not super intelligence. Let me put it that way. Thank you, Cash Heart, for all the coffees. Much love, all man, and for all the. Actually, I don't know who. I don't know. Some of you could be guys or girls. I don't know. Lovely indeed. Thank you, Cash. Whoever you are out there, always appreciate it to the fullest. But yeah, this whole Epstein thing. I don't know. General Michael Flynn drops a memo demanding that Trump make arrest in the Russiagate treason scandal. So Mike Flynn getting a little antsy and all the stuff over here. People are wanting to see arrests. They're wanting to see people go down. Doge just came out and told you trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars were stolen and used and all this. And like, no one went to jail. Now they're coming out. They're sweeping Epstein under the rug right in front of your face. It's nuts. Like, is he going to get anything? He probably get an FU. I'm just going to run through some of the rest of these real quick here. Sum up the rest of the show here and just hit on some of these points. Zelensky saying the latest call here with Trump was the most productive that they've ever had. Yeah, right. NATO's rut, and you need to realize who this goon is. This piece of work right here. He warns of a Chinese-Russian Red Dawn. And then Russia responds like, dude, this guy's eating like too much magic mushrooms. Like all he wants to do is push for war. And like, it's not happening. Like we're not red dawning into the area. He's trying to push that on Europe now, that they're going to come floating out of the sky. You know, same old fear-mongering crap. And he's got to ramp it up because the U.S. has been talking about kind of backing out. Although Trump did say tonight, they're going to send more defensive weapons to Ukraine because he admitted they're getting pounded. They're getting pounded pretty badly. It doesn't matter if you send more Patriot systems. What happened to the last Patriot systems? Why do you got to send more? Because the last ones that you sent got obliterated. You don't want to say that. He won't say that. They did. Hypersonics took them out and they can't stop them. And they just came out and said, well, we got to quit sending stuff because, like, we've depleted our whole inventory. Like, our military is, like, depleted of supplies. In the meantime, Russia captures 2 more settlements in a 3rd straight month of advancements in East Ukraine. They're just taking it all. They've been pounding Kiev like they're making moves. Check this out. Russia becomes the first country to officially recognize Afghanistan's Taliban government. You know, the Taliban, our government had a huge hand in creating and all this other stuff and funding and supporting and doing all this other crap over and over, just like ISIS, over and over and over again. And that we left all this weaponry in Afghanistan to arm those factions, all a setup that Russia is it recognizing them? Like, the world is a stage, dude. A huge stage. Yeah. Yeah. That brings up Jolani in Syria. You know, the same guy, just like Bin Laden, that they trained and was a jihadist and all this other stuff. And he's in a suit now and he's leading Syria. And all of a sudden, Trump says, guess what? We're going to drop the foreign terror designation on you on HTS. Former Al-Qaeda and Syria frontman that swooped in and overthrew Assad, which the West wanted. They did all this. They ran Assad didn't even put up a fight. Like Gaddafi went down in the streets bloody. Like Assad ran like a little, you know, like just as soon as he caught wind, they didn't even put up a fight at all. It's pathetic. Saddam put up a fight, you know what I'm saying? Gaddafi put up a fight. Other countries put up fights, but not in Syria. It just fell quick. Jolani is a good. All these dudes are goons, man. These are establishment, world, global establishment goons. All 3 of these dudes right here in the end time. Major players right here on the world stage. All believing in the same stuff. All of it. All pushing the same agenda. If not, they'd be dead. One would be dead. They would eliminate it. The team would eliminate any opposition, competition. You're either on the team or you're not. And as they call the rest of the populace, the goy, you're either part of the club, the elect, selected, or part of the goy. What's the next Wednesday? The UK restores formal diplomatic ties with Syria. This is crazy. There it is. You can see what's happened. The whole world's a stage. We've been fooled, lied to, played, but again, nobody does nothing so they can get away with this. It's all stage. It's all it was. What about all the Christians and all the innocent people that got slaughtered and still get slaughtered in Syria? Everybody just don't care about all you Trumpers don't care about that, do you? Jesus and Christianity, none of that means anything anymore, right? Because you're part of a gang now. You're MAGA gang, right? You forgot about all these innocent people. Don't want to call it the genocide anywhere else. It's pathetic. You make me sick. Karma will get you. All those who want to act like innocent babies aren't getting their heads blown off and you want to try to justify it in any way. It's ridiculous. John, thank you for the coffee. So Israel bombs ports, power plants, all that good stuff inside of Yemen and picks up the escalation there. It's like they can't sit idle for long. Like they're dropping bombs on someone, somewhere, somehow, some way. It's either toward, it's been toward Syria, which now they seem to have under control. It's toward Lebanon. It's toward Gaza. It's been into Jordan. Now Yemen, obviously here recently. Iran. John, thank you for the coffee. So they're back to bombing Yemen. There's a proposed Gaza ceasefire that was thrown out there. We'll see if anything was worked out. Netanyahu was just here tonight. This is crazy. The reward to assassinate Trump rises to 21 million out of Iran. So Iran has got a bounty on his head openly because remember he ordered the death of Soleimani, the strike on him. He did that. It's official. That's on Trump's head, so to speak. He called that shot to take us out of nowhere, and they took him out. And they've been pissed ever since. So this bounty has been on his head ever since, and it hasn't been removed. And that's what's up. That's the real deal right there. They've got a real deal assassination reward on his head. And on the flip side, Ayatollah Khamenei makes his first public appearance since the war with Israel. Why? Because he feared getting assassinated. He was in hiding the whole time, moving him around. He's got a couple body doubles, and they all operate like this. You've seen Zelensky down there in Ukraine. Dude had like 12. He was like Slim Shady, like with a real Slim Shady. Please stand up. Dude walked into a room and there was like 3 or 4 that looked just like him. And like it was nuts. It's crazy. That dude probably rolling with more body doubles than anybody, Zelensky. But there's been talk of sleeper cells in America. I'm not going to play these clips, but Tucker Carlson was talking to the Iranian president. He interviewed him. And the Iranian president basically says, no, man. Like, I mean, have you even really seen this guy before? You always hear about the Ayatollah, but he says the Iranian people are peaceful. Do you ever hear about them attacking people and blowing stuff up and all this crap? Well, they're trying to say sleeper cells are here. Basically deciding any Iranian living in America is a sleeper cell, which is kind of pathetic. Can there be sleeper cells? Well, yeah, but we know who makes them. It's the same government that made ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all this. It's a setup. It's garbage. Like, we've got this figured out at this point. Anything happens, they let it happen. Okay? It's just how it is. Like, you should know this at this point. Any huge event happens, they let it happen. Wasn't Chinese, wasn't Russia. Even if they're saying it over the radio or whatever. someone let it happen. All right, when it comes to the border, we had a shootout, an ambush, a gunman ambushed Border Patrol in Texas and started shooting, and they came in and killed him. I'm not going to show the footage of it, but they dropped it, killed him. And the U.S. expands their militarized zone to 1/3 of our border. Okay? It's growing silently, quietly, and a war is about to pop big time. As soon as all the cards are where they want them. We already know. Day one, Trump established a national emergency because of the cartels. That was his excuse. And this has grown. The militarized zone, where they're down there flying drones, locking it down. It was never to this degree before. So, just letting you know, 1/3 of our border locked down like that. In the meantime, Mexico City has protests, and it's okay for everybody to come here, right? And just run on up in America, use and abuse it. But for the Americans trying to go down to Mexico, demonstrators are marching in Mexico City, pissed off at the gringos, and like, talk about being racist as all hell and everything else. Well, they're going off, and like they're tearing stuff down, and they're protesting, and they're pissed off, not wanting Americans to come down there and live in this and that at all. It's like you don't even see a fraction of this energy up here from Americans stopping any of the people flooding in. You didn't the whole time. They just sat there, and we got ran up in. With nobody bucking back, fighting back, doing nothing, man. It's pathetic, man. Look, all pissed off. Americans come down there. March through Condesa and Roma. Vandalizing everything along the way. Destroying their own towns and cities. Reminds you of BLM. Remember, they've dubbed all this BLM 2.0, basically. And it started in Southern California with a lot of the Mexican groups that were tied into it. And it looks like someone has latched on to this group, and they're utilizing it just as they did BLM, the original BLM. Of course, they're not black people for Black Lives Matter or anything like that. It's the Mexican version, is what they're calling it. And it's being utilized the same way. It's crazy, man. You can see the chaos spinning up all over the place, man, in these videos. And they're pissed off because Americans are coming down there. Attacking these places. They see what looks like Americans and they're eating. You're getting it. But that's exactly what was going on here. Remember, they came in, they decimated all the businesses, they wiped them out, attacked them, burned them down, looted them. And this was the last piece I had here. A YouTuber uncovers, and this is modern day, this is what I did a decade ago in Ferguson. I went to Ferguson and I uncovered that exactly this, what this dude's doing, that these were paid protesters in the streets, and that there was businesses training them, NGOs, people were getting cut checks. We unraveled all of it down there. Well, this is like the dude in New York, I think, up there doing it right now. NYC Color Revolution Operation. He basically gets to the bottom that same thing. This is all the same thing. You don't understand, man. I did this for so long, going from city to city to city. We've done this is done, known, and figured out. Like I mean, props to this dude for getting up off his tail, getting out there and doing stuff like this. But like we've been knowing all this. It's what's it gonna take to stop it? That's the key question.
Do you want to see Tel Aviv get bombed?
This is not what I want to. What's gonna be happen, I can tell you.
Do you think that, what's that? What do you want to prevent him to say?
We're getting ready to march.
Now here we go again, another paid protester coming to stop my interview. Although this time, he's not just one of the workers, he is a leader. His name is David Chung. He is the general manager at the People's Forum, the company responsible for organizing these pro-Iran protests. We know that because they literally told us that at the previous rally.
What's the best way that people can get involved into organizing the protest?
In New York, the People's Forum is a great space to get politicized, to meet people in your community, to come together.
Now, David has been a paid protester for a long time. This is his portfolio that got him promoted to be a manager. Here's him yelling to stop NATO. Here's him yelling to release Khalil, a man who was the spokesperson of an organization at Columbia that passed out pro-Hamas flyers. Here is David again wearing a safety vest at a protest, which is what you get to do after you prove yourself. Now, David has even been in the promotional material for the Party of Socialism and Liberation to never stop fighting for Palestine, as they show themselves protesting just one day after October 7th. Now, just looking at the People's Forum on Glassdoor, it seems managers get paid between $60,000 to $90,000 a year, and you've just seen what they do with their time. And it's not as if all these protests take place on the weekend either. If you look on their X, they are constantly posting their protests that take place during the work week. You might even see some familiar faces on their X feed. But all of this isn't about just some manager at a company. This goes all the way to DC. Here is David with Rashida Tlaib. Now, Tlaib is a congresswoman who has called for the abolishment of police. She's also promised to, quote, impeach that mother when referring to Trump. She showcases the Palestine flag outside her office, and yes, there's a bit of irony in this picture when you see which flag is also there. And this is a glimpse of Tlaib's district. Does this look like the United States to you? So what is the People's Forum, and how did they get powerful enough to meet with a congresswoman? First, we have to talk about this photo. On the very right is Manolo Santos. He's the executive director of the People's Forum. Now, I'm not sure if there's enough therapy in the world for Manolo, because he said, when we finally deal the final blow to destroy Israel, when the state of Israel is finally destroyed and erased from history, that will be the single most important blow we can give to destroying capitalism. Now, when you get your kids ready for school, he's protesting. When you go to work, he's getting arrested. When you go out to lunch, he's occupying Fox News. He has, without a doubt, one of the largest portfolios of a paid protester that I've ever seen. But they got this picture with Tlaib because she's been an advocate for ending the blockade to Cuba for a while now.
Okay, you see my point? Like, this is so big, so huge. It's so organized. Like, don't be fooled. Don't think BLM is gone because they broke it down and they defunded it and they did away with it. Officially, they did. And a lot of its leaders got in trouble and with the prison and all this other stuff. And Soros officially quit funding it. But he's funding the Free Palestinian movement, the whole Mexican movement that I showed you. All this. They're funding every ounce of it. And these are the types of people there. Now, they hijack themes and names. Just because you're for Free Palestine, truly, doesn't mean that you're a communist or a socialist. But their movement that is communist and socialist has hijacked that theme. Just like Black Lives Matter. It's classic. Like, of course, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. But like, they would hate that. They hate to hear you say that all lives matter. But it was a hijacked theme. They used it to their advantage. You see what I'm saying? And most people have caught on to it at this point, but these groups are still active. And as long as Trump's in power, I expect this stuff to grow. Remember, we seen the Cybertruck bombing at the Trump Hotel. If people forgot, that marked like the beginning of some stuff. I don't even think we've really begun to see how bad this can get. But it's all about the cards on the table and which ones they want to play. Remember, when it comes to this occult and it comes to the black magic, they're all about matching events in the heavens. to events down below on Earth in a ritualistic mirroring type of way. So windows are key for them. 9/11 was done on one of these windows ritualistically. There is a key window that I found for this year that starts on, of all days, 11/11. And it will be when 4 planets, which is the most I've seen at one time, will all go into retrograde, which means in reverse. When they go into retrograde, they go into reverse in the sky, basically, visually, from our perspective. And this is key to the rituals and to everything that they do. These windows in time. It's going to start on 11/11 and go to like the 28th or something of November. So you're going to have that couple weeks span of time right there that, for what it's worth, I keep trying to warn. It may mean nothing to you, but it means something to them. And even these other times, like Mercury could be in retrograde right now, going through, it's all about also what it's passing through. If it's going through, Sagittarius or something that's warring, that's pulling back the arrow, or all these different things. They mean symbolically certain things, and they open up windows is all I can tell you. It's how they operate. I'm just warning you again. Just remember this window later this year. Anything happens within it, I'm going to be like, look, I told you. I don't know what else I could do. Anyhow, I thank you for joining me for another one. I appreciate your time, the love. I appreciate all you guys out there that share it, that fight the good fight. If you got anything, again, you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com. I look to be back on Wednesday for another one here. Yeah, man, I can't get over the whole Epstein thing. We're going to be talking about it for all the rest of the days to come. Much love, Steve, Ava, Raymond, Kuna. Take us out of here in some music tonight. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Thank you, Bulletproof Soul, Tacos, Granite, Geo, Barry, Susie Q, Joe, Mr. Streets, RJ, Dean, Rufus, Grant, Kilo, Tom, E6. Much love. Again, thank you, Steve, for everything. Wayne the Penny. Ministry of Truth. Self Mo, Pixie. Appreciate all you guys. Deanne, man, thank you for the coffees and the support. Much love, Mix. Thank you, Steve. 11 on 7/7/2025. If I don't see you in the flesh,